You know, I thought I was going to... Wait, I'll save it for the podcast.
The one we're about to do in like any second now? Yeah. Nice. Good call, dude. Yeah.
Sure. Can you see it?
Yeah.
I have seen that, actually.
The scream and...
It's the best. Holy shit, dude.
It's the best, man. It kills me every fucking time, dude.
Fuck, man.
Holy
that guy.
shit.
What a wiener.
Time Rooney, whenever you guys are ready, Rooney.
Oh, yes.
Are we ready, Rooney?
We are ready, Rooney.
Wow. So Godzilla breathes fire, right? We've established that?
No,
I'm glad we're all in
Godzilla does
agreeance.
not breathe fire. Motherfucker, do it again.
Godzilla breathes fire and...
I'm going to choke you.
Hold on, let's do it again one more time. Godzilla breathes fire.
I'm going to choke you.
Motherfucker, both of you, shut the fuck up. And welcome back to Anime Shmanime.
Should we be going for a clean 10?
Literally the first word after the clack was motherfucker.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Oh my god.
we're off to a good start. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
What's up?
Why was that so difficult to start this episode?
Because you guys don't understand how Godzilla works.
I'm not even that big of a kaiju fan. I love kaiju.
What's kaiju?
Like monsters, like big monsters. Fuck. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so don't even bother.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay, but yes, welcome back to Anime Shmanime. We are doing
Demon's Lair. Where the
Demon's
demons
Lair.
live.
Demon's Lair. The blacksmith arc.
Nope, you're wrong.
That's not what it's called.
That's not it at all.
No, I know.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're just tuning in, spoiler alert, we review shit and we're going to spoil the fuck out of everything. So
Yeah.
there's your warning. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Without going into too much detail about stuff we've covered already about this show, I feel like I should say about this season really, really made me realize how fucking cool and also so goddamn dumb this show is. It's like perfectly equal parts dumb and fucking ridiculous, dude.
okay, I know like some of the moments, like even I can agree that some of the like the more chibi slapsticky moments, like it could do without a lot, like a good handful of it. Like
Not just that, dude, but we're like halfway through season 3 and like the ongoing larger plot is just non-existent.
Yeah, well, technically this is season 3.
I know we're halfway. Okay, but like,
But
this
yeah.
is part of a third installment.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. Oh no. So technically the third installment, or this is the fourth arc. This,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, point being is like the major plot line is so missing
Yeah.
that I forget all about it all the time. And then they'll remind me, I'm like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then randomly crows talk. And I'm like, I never needed that.
Dude, I think this is one of the best seasons ever.
I strongly disagree.
No, I don't.
Strongly disagree.
The only reason why is you only got Zenitsu for like 5 minutes total throughout the
Okay,
whole
yeah.
season.
I'm going to be honest with you. I missed our team in this season
I
big
missed
time.
Inosuke big time.
I missed Inosuke for sure.
They tried
I
to
did.
give you a shitty Inosuke alternative.
in
Genya? Genya, is that his name?
Yeah, but no way.
I don't think that's what they were trying to do with
It
that.
felt a little bit like that.
No way, because Inosuke's like really rambunctious, and
Yeah.
Genya's like the polar opposite.
He had like mild Inosuke energy, but point being is I missed the dynamic of our team. I didn't buy the new team as like worth my investment, a whole season.
Yeah.
I didn't buy them as needing a whole season. And
But
I
then
once again
it's not
didn't get
a
any
team.
forwarding of the main plot barely at all.
So it's not a team at all, right? It is a the demon corpse. So you're gonna obviously have to work with other people at
What's
some
another
point.
word for corpse, Mikey? Like team?
Now you know what I mean. Like the fucking trio. There's a trio
Yeah.
of them that we've kind of like.
Yeah.
There's the team.
Sure.
Right. Like every shonen has the little trio
Yeah.
team. But
Yeah.
But yeah, like I liked it. Granted, UFO Table has been doing some fucking crazy shit with it, sinking tons of money into this.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, to be fair, the money, I see where they're spending their money
Yeah.
because the animation is still fucking top of the game.
Yeah.
The fight scenes and choreography are still absolutely goddamn intense. It's the writing that's failing me.
it's a shonen though. There's nothing.
Yeah, like you're gonna have so many episodes just dedicated to battling. Just
But
to
we got a
fighting.
whole season here where they didn't barely touch on the ongoing plot that they've been teasing since the first fucking episode.
Dude, this
by,
is
by the end, you have a major revelation, dude.
You have
you
a
have
revelation.
three. You
You
have three.
Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah,
they,
yeah.
they've accomplished their goal.
Sure. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying,
That's
though, aside
monumental.
from that, though, the whole season felt like a sidestep to me.
No. You have first Tanjiro getting that new katana that the dude was fucking so focused on
Sure.
honing in, and the story behind that is of the dude who can use the sun breathing technique,
Yeah.
which is like the all encompassing technique, or like where everything else is like derivative of.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and then because we thought at one point that was Tanjiro's dad, so that was a red herring.
There's so many red herrings about that guy.
Yes.
Constantly. I don't know who the
Constantly.
fuck that guy is.
Right,
I don't know who
but-
the fuck that guy is.
but-
It
But
bothers me.
they planted some good seeds this
Yes.
season.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't trust them anymore, though, is the thing. You know what I mean? Like,
No, you're not.
Everything's
Well, I
fe-
mean, you're never supposed to trust the red herring. It's
everything
the
just
whole
feels
point is to
very,
fucking
very
get-
drawn out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everything's taking a very long time, and I don't love that. Is all I'm saying.
Because you don't. You're telling me that you don't enjoy the action as much.
No, I love the action. I
But then
just
how
wish
do you-
it was side by side with the main plot and not these sidestep battles that are like alternate. Do you know what I'm saying?
What's the main plot that you're hoping they would, or that you wish they
Okay,
would
so
get back to?
for example, the whole thing with Nezuko and like bringing demons back to life because they were once human beings. That's the whole point of the show,
yeah.
Yes.
right? And this season was not about that until the
Well,
very
it's not
end.
the whole point of the show.
He's collecting blood for that lady
No,
in order
hold
for
on,
her.
hold on, go back. You said that's the whole point of the show.
That's the
The
whole
show
reason
is
why
called-
Tanjiro exists and is doing his thing.
No. The show is called Demon Slayer.
I know,
The
that's-
whole reason Tanjiro becomes a demon slayer
Yeah.
is so that he can eventually slay the demon
Yeah.
that killed his family, right? So his motivation might be to save his sister.
Yeah.
But his entire existence
Yeah.
is as somebody whose job is to receive a mission of demon A exists in location A.
Yeah.
Kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his whole entire existence wrapped up into one. He has to do that.
I
It's
know
his
that.
job.
I get that.
Or they'll kill him.
But that's what I'm saying is in season 1, though, that was not his main objective. Before he became a demon slayer, he was much more concerned about sympathizing with the demons, their past selves, and trying to figure out a way to bring the humanity back to the demons. Zero of that in this season.
So you're telling me you
That's
have
2
character
seasons gone now.
development?
What's that?
So you're telling me there's character development?
I would call it character regression because he's losing his main objective.
No,
he's
so-
forgetting about it.
Okay, but yeah, that's your preference in him being, this your typical good guy shonen where like I see a guy who is getting older, getting more jaded and seeing demons as not as humans anymore.
Right.
And is getting jaded and hardened and want them to take responsibility for hurting so many other people because he also has met his sister.
I agree.
Right?
I just
Like-
think that's a less interesting story, personally.
Oh, what? God, no. The more
I think it's a more shonen story.
It's a more.
And that kind
it's
of
a story I've
explains-
heard a million times
Hold on.
before. It was
That's-
more interesting before.
That's a more shonen story, and that perfectly explains why you love it and why you hate it.
Probably. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
You like it the way it is. You
Yeah.
want it different, but the ways you want it different, it wouldn't feel as much like a shonen
Yeah.
if they were hung up on the medical procedures and the experimentation they're doing with the blood
Yeah.
and all of this stuff going on
Yeah.
back in that little fucking house with the lady who's doing the blood stuff.
I feel like
Well, if he went that route, that's a little bit more like mystery detective.
less shonen.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
way less shonen.
That's what I'm saying.
But the
we're going to
other-
go back into early
Yeah.
Shmanime episodes here for a second, because what it's doing is it's taking me right back into the realm of like
Monster of the Week.
but
But-
per season, and way out of the realm of like there's some bigger shit going on, and we get like one revelation per season right now after a massive battle with a singular monster that I know he's going to beat.
No. So here's the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
There's been kind of an underlying climb that's been happening with Tanjiro that you've kind of been seeing happening with him that you realize is going to have to happen because everybody knows he's going to have the plot armor obviously to get all the way to the end of this story. It's his story after all,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
So in order to do that, like you have to get to a point by the end of this story where he is soloing upper ranks with relative ease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to reach that level
For sure.
in order for him to take down the big bad. And you are starting the story at a place where he doesn't even fucking know what a demon looks like.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that means that between now and then, you have to have these milestones that he hits. And every
Yeah.
season has been getting closer and closer to him finally doing what he did this season, which was,
Yes.
spoiler alert, he killed an upper rank
Yeah.
by himself.
I wouldn't say by himself,
Yeah, I wouldn't
but
go
he did
by
kill an
himself,
upper
but
rank.
yeah.
He laid the killing blow.
finishing
Yeah, you're
blow
right.
alone.
Sure.
And that's something he had never done before.
Sure.
And that is
In
monumental
fact,
for him moving forward.
while that was happening, another Hashira was about to give up and die.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yes. And the other
Yeah.
one was
Yeah.
super fucking late to the party because she was being eaten by wooden
She's the one who was literally like, well, I guess this is it for me.
Oh,
She
I
gets
thought you were
eaten
talking
by the
about- I thought you were
dragon.
talking about Misty Boy here.
No.
No, he was late because he was
He
busy.
beat
No,
his
he
demon.
wasn't late. He was fucking dying up on the ridge. He was
Yeah.
fucking.
But he beat
he's
his
the
demon.
Thor.
She literally
He
was
did.
like, this is it for me. She gets
did.
eaten by the wooden dragon, and then it disappears because Tanjiro
Tanjiro,
killed
yeah.
the
Yeah.
demon.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway, also,
Yeah.
not only that, he can now use lightning step or whatever it's called.
That's right. He
Whatever the fuck
unlocks-
he can use. I'm sick of that shit too, to be honest with you.
But like you understand like his wielding of all of the different
Yeah,
elements.
he's a fucking avatar. I get it.
Right.
I
Okay.
get it.
But even
Okay, good. I'm glad you get it.
because he's going to use the sun breathing eventually, for sure.
I'm well aware of that.
Yeah.
They've made sure I'm aware of that.
Good. You should know.
Yeah.
Well, he has used it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hinokami Kagura
Yeah.
is sun breathing.
Yeah.
Let me point out, I'm a little grumpy about it right now, but I didn't hate this season.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. There's a lot to like about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just not quite tickling me the way I expected it to from what they gave me on season 1. And then even on season 2 a little bit, I had high hopes. And slowly
Yeah.
I'm losing those hopes.
Well, I mean, the cut bunch with fucking Rengoku, there hasn't been anything like that since his death, right?
Sure.
And there's nobody that's really
I would agree that I feel like for me and my sensibilities, that's when the show jumped the shark. Personally.
I don't know about that.
It's
but
been
like,
downhill
it hasn't-
since then for me.
Considering you're still hung up on season 1 sensibilities, I would say, yeah, this show left you behind a long time ago, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that's sad.
Yeah, because you can't enjoy
it
it.
is kinda sad, man. Yeah.
Because
Well,
this
no,
is fucking great.
It's sad you can't unframe your mind from season 1 and reframe it to this new other show that is happening now and
Yeah.
for the rest of the probably end of it.
I wanted
because
that
it's
show
a
from
really
season
because it's a
1,
really
though.
Yeah.
good show.
I wanted that show from season 1.
My outlook on this whole show was I was worried about the same thing, and you guys can go look back on our earlier episodes because we've done every other season.
Yeah.
We talk about the same thing where we were worried that it would be different Hashira takes on a different upper rank demon.
Yeah.
And that would be it until eventually there were none left of either side,
Yeah.
and all that's left is the two final standing. And we were worried about that, but we also predicted that they weren't going to reach that point.
Yeah.
They were gonna fizzle out, or they weren't gonna get the funding, whatever the fuck the reason. The manga was gonna end.
Yeah.
And the manga did end.
Yeah.
And that at some point they were gonna have to do away with the one Hashira per arc,
Yeah.
demon per arc thing, and
Yeah.
eventually it's going to be
Tanjiro.
a fucking war, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like it's going to be a fucking clash of so many different fucking characters that it's going to be overwhelmingly amazing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and intense and crazy. This season, unfortunately, still stands a lot like the Entertainment District season, where it feels like a season where
Yeah.
we're waiting for that drop
Yeah.
to happen.
I agree. I
And
think
they extended
teased
that
it
out
at the end
another
of this.
season. They did,
Yeah.
and they extended it out another season. they gave us a lot along the way, in my opinion.
Sure.
And I think that's valuable, and I don't think I want to overlook that because
Okay.
what it's done is it's re-endeared me and re-energized me with this series
Yeah.
and with these characters.
Yeah.
And it gave some characters a chance to shine and put some of the louder, more annoying characters on the sidelines.
Yeah,
for
it
a
kind
while.
of give you a break from them because you do
Sure.
like them. Like I love Inosuke, but like Zenitsu,
my
like
God.
having a break from him, like now I feel like it cleansed my palate. I can go with
See,
the next
here's the
season.
thing,
I'm excited to see them again.
Yeah.
I dislike Zenitsu, but he's one of the pieces I need more from because there's a lot of mystery behind him, and we've got nothing of it.
There's no mystery behind that,
Dude, why is he so powerful when he sleeps?
Dude,
There's something. He's OP when he sleeps, and I need more explanation on that. I
Dude,
want that.
They explain it in
They
the
do,
first
I think.
season.
Do they?
'Cause
Yeah.
he's not feeling any fear or anxiety when he's
Yeah.
sleeping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just solely
That's
working
dumb.
on instinct.
I wish it was better than that.
And not to mention,
pretty
like he
dumb.
couldn't like master any other technique but the first one,
Yeah.
and he mastered it to a level that was so high.
Yeah.
You can just do it anytime.
Yeah.
That it's all based on instinct,
All right.
right? So and it's just
I think
mean,
to sum up this like intro little whatever of like how we feel about it, I think I'm like was ready to not have a season like this. I was ready. I'm so ready for what's next. And I got another season like this. And that bummed me out. And you're right. They gave us some more along the way. And I'm not giving up on it because they really did at the end of this season hint that next one might not be that.
Yes.
I don't trust them. I do honestly believe we're probably going to get more Hashira, more upper ranked demons in the next season before we get what I want. I do truly believe that. Probably 2 more times, maybe 3.
yeah. Well,
Because
I mean,
they're fuckers.
yeah. There's still a few more Hashira there. Like even the dude's brother, what's his name that has like been eating demons and
Yeah.
has demon power. But
Yeah.
Kenya.
Again. But I want to go back to you saying how you wanted Tanjiro to always be the good guy and to always be like, sympathizing and things like that, because I feel like that's typical shonen. Right?
I just
that's
want-
like a Naruto complex. Where
I
it's
just like
be
that concept that his sister's a demon and he wants to bring her to life so bad, and that's the reason he joined the Demon Slayer Corps. But we're not getting that anymore. Now we're
No.
just getting I kill demons,
Yeah.
which is what all the other Hashira do. It makes Tanjiro less interesting
I
to
think
just.
I think you're getting a battle. I think you're getting somebody who is experiencing both sides of those things and is trying to navigate that as it's coming at him,
Yes.
right?
It's just
Like,
becoming way less the focus. To be honest with you, what
It's
I'm
adding
getting,
nuance.
what I'm getting is like really fancy Dragon Ball Z.
dude, you're saying
not really.
You're saying you said it's adding noise. Is that what you said?
No,
No, really fancy Dragon Ball Z.
I'm
Before
getting
that.
I don't
Before
know
that.
what I said before that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
No, see, like I think it's adding nuance
Yes.
to these characters, and it might be getting messy for you, or it might be feeling uncharacteristic, but is representative of an evolution and growth pattern and something that you're witnessing happening over time. Tanjiro is going through this journey with demons. It started as blind hatred, then it then it developed into this really strong compassion, and then in the wake of losing Rengoku, it went right to straight fucking blood rage again,
Yes.
all over. And now he's like navigating in and out of that in these interesting ways. And to me, it's created a nuanced Tanjiro where sometimes you don't know what fucking Tanjiro you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And that's way
Yes.
cooler than knowing that every single time you're gonna get a teary-eyed Tanjiro kissing a fucking beheaded demon head as he lays it on the ground.
Sure.
That gets old real fucking fast.
Yes.
Now it's
I
just
get
like,
it.
holy fuck, Tanjiro just went fucking god mode, like beast mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when Rengoku died and threw his fucking sword through a forest into some guy's head.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I get it. I think I just would have liked more focus on that as like in the forefront and less focus on like Hashira fighting demons. Don't get me wrong. I love the fight scenes.
Yes.
They're incredible. But I feel like they're not really bringing that struggle in Tanjiro to the forefront. It's all, you have to intuit that.
Yeah,
and
but
I'm not
you-
good at that.
You are talking now. You're talking about like a seinen or like a mature like anime or
Yeah.
manga or story. This is a shonen. It is for technically
Sure.
like
Teenagers.
teenagers.
Sure, and check
right?
the scorings of all of our past episodes. How do I score shonens versus seinens? Maybe you know what I mean. Maybe that's just where
in
I
the immortal
land.
words of Jordy, I've got grown ass man issues.
Yeah. I don't have time for fancy ass Dragon Ball Z, and I didn't think this was what this show was going to be.
Also, this
Really?
is not fancy ass Dragon Ball Z.
I'm gonna
It's-
stick behind that statement.
Okay, no, fuck you. Because here's the thing: Dragon Ball Z is you got fucking Goku, who's a terrible parent, right? So it would
Facts.
be a
Facts.
terrible
Yeah.
sibling.
Facts.
And also, all he thinks about is fighting the next fighter, right? And getting stronger.
Sure.
Tanjiro is way more nuanced than that.
I get that.
Tanjiro is also struggling. Also, if you think about it, Tanjiro is way more relatable because of that nuance and all the experiences he's gone through.
Yeah.
And if you've actually watched this fucking season, because I feel like you haven't.
Bro, I have pages of notes here. We're going to get through in a minute. I watched the season.
But like you can even see in the animation where you have the flashbacks to like the first season.
Let
how
me tell
he
you about
looks.
the fucking flashbacks in this season too, buddy.
But like going from that and seeing his stature now,
Yeah.
and seeing how like meek he was at the beginning, even right?
I'm not debating there's not growth. I just think that that's the story I want. And don't get me wrong, the battles are great. But I feel like emphasizing that growth and emphasizing Tanjiro's struggle and
Yes.
making that more prevalent and more the subject of more episodes.
Yes.
It's literally the subject of 0 episodes. It's happening all in the background.
Yeah, it's like I agree with Mikey where like all those are reasons why Tanjiro's like a better pro tag than Goku.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's why I say fancy Dragon Ball Z.
Right? But like the structure of the show, the actual like skeleton of
Yeah.
the show is very typical shonen.
Thank you.
yes, it's
It's the choices. It's the exactly, and that's why it feels like a love letter to all the shows that we loved growing
Yeah.
up. But where they're excelling is the nuance within that space when they're creating these characters and the relationships within them.
Yeah.
That's when things are interesting and modern and deep and not one dimensional
Yeah.
like we were getting out of our boy Toriyama with Dragon Ball, right?
I'm just a stupid shallow meathead and I'm not picking it up. I
Yeah.
need them to spoon feed it to me. Like always.
Yeah.
I need them to
Also,
give it to me on
I
a
think
plate.
you need to also enjoy the fight scenes more.
I am. Trust me, I am. That's the saving grace of this show. That's the saving grace of this show because they're breathtaking.
Yeah.
Every single, and it's better every season. This
Yeah.
is the
Really.
best one I've seen so far,
yeah.
by far.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went from fucking fluttery ribbons to giant wooden dragon
Yeah.
Hydra.
Yeah.
Hydra monster
And the
And
movements,
like,
the movements of our protagonists too are like incredible this season.
Yeah.
But
Unbelievable.
I mean, the fucking first episode, because technically the first episode was the last third of the movie that they released, which was like the last 2 episodes
Okay.
of the last season. And then the first episode, they just kind of released it as like a tease. But the fucking, that room that all the demons like congregate in.
Yeah, that MC Escher
Escher
kind of
King.
building. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
not an accident. I'm sure that's
No,
on
no, no,
purpose.
but
yeah.
like-
It's called the Infinity Castle.
Yes, the
Okay.
Infinity Castle. Thank
Yeah.
you. Right, and like that scene, like alone, just on like its own, is fucking incredible.
They were like budget.
yeah, money, throw money at
Yeah,
it.
it looks
Yeah.
amazing, dude.
Yeah.
The art is incredible.
And you could tell, I mean, you're watching something cinematic quality and
Without a
and
doubt.
cinematic level. And then what was crazy is they just kept it up basically throughout the rest, and
Yeah.
they just kept it going. I mean, there was a few weird fish that
Yeah,
were still
I
strange.
will give it.
We'll
I will
talk
give
about
it
that.
that.
We'll get to
yeah.
Weird Fish.
but like
Great Radiohead song. Weird
Yeah,
Fishes.
yeah.
But outside of that, yeah, I was seeing some stuff that like was very reminiscent of old shonen anime, but like also like elevated
Yeah.
and like brought into like a modern sense. Like a lot of the ways that my new waifu Kanroji there moves. Like
Rainbow boobs.
the
Rainbow
way
boobs. That's what I'm gonna
the
call her.
way that she fucking flies through the air in conjunction with her whip sword.
Her
like,
whip sword is bonkers.
like
man.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
movements that they were creating with her, it was just
Yeah.
like
Like,
I
it-
just want to see her run around through the wooden dragon
Dude,
tendrils
The way-
just on repeat for fucking 30 minutes. I'll just watch that.
the way her whip sword and the dragons kind of like mirror each other is
Yeah.
insanity. It's the coolest thing I think I've seen in a fight scene in any anime ever.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It was like it was almost masturbatory in how like
Yeah.
and just how
Sorry, you're something about your waifu and masturbatory
that's
and
what I'm saying, guys. it was orgasmic animation.
yeah, Jay's really handling his whip sword, his wooden dragon,
My whip sword was
his wooden dragon.
My whip sword was at full mast.
Yeah.
It was definitely
Your wooden dragon was hard as fuck.
Fuck yeah, it wouldn't be a whip at that point.
I mean, come on, what our intro to her was fucking bath scene, dude.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Dude, come
And
on.
the amount of close-ups on boobs.
Dude.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I thought she was gonna be one of my
Masturbatory.
waifus, but after like her seeing her personality, she's not. She's too cute. She's too cutie.
I want to get more into her. We have a structure. Do we want to hop over world art music and get to characters? Like, what do we want to say about world art music that we haven't already said?
World, I don't need to really say, except for the fact that I thought it was some interesting plot armor to have it be like this hidden village. That he had to like plug his nose, and then like they knew that way anything that happened there would be insulated, and they wouldn't have to explain collateral damage, and it was just like very oblivious obvious. Sorry, and like it was just ridiculous.
Again, another element of the sidesteppy nature of this season. It's a whole insulated scenario. You see what I'm saying? Anyways,
get in, get out.
Exactly.
Everything's the
but
same.
I did really enjoy the fact that the whole Swordsmith village was like wearing the mask.
Very cool.
I hate those masks. They're so distracting to me. They're silly looking. They bother the hell out of me.
They are, but like the juxtaposition, like I'm so uncomfortable with it, but I like it. I'm here for it.
They're also incredibly traditional.
Yeah, they are.
You've made me aware of that in the past, but it doesn't change the fact that when I'm watching a show like this, it's hard to not let that mask take me out of the show that I'm watching. It removes me.
That's a you problem.
Yeah. All of my problems are me problems. They're clearly not you guy problems. You guys problems.
Yeah.
Also,
what?
Oh no. Also, what's her girl's name again?
Kenroji.
I'm pretty sure they modeled a lot of her movements after the ribbon gymnastics.
I do, of course.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I believe it, yeah.
Absolutely. That's totally what she was giving. Yeah. Rhythmic gymnastics. Yeah. Totally. But yeah, world-wise, otherwise, I mean, just pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Art-wise, like again, like you said, the step
Peak.
up from UFO table, they're fucking killing it.
Yep.
I hope they can keep pace. I hope there's never really a slip.
Yeah.
So far, it's only been up. So
Yep.
fuck. I mean, even a plateau at this point would be fine if they just coasted on this quality for the rest of the show. I'd be
They could get away with
happy.
it. They could. They could halt the budget, cap it right here, and
It'd
keep
still
going.
go down as one of the best.
And they could
looking
probably get
shows
3,
ever.
4, 5 seasons out of that before they have to put another dollar in.
Yeah.
And it would be, like I said, heralded as one of the best looking shows.
For sure.
My only concern would be if UFO Table decided to stretch it too long, right? Because sometimes
They can't. They can only do the manga. The manga's done.
Yeah, no, I know, but what I'm saying is like if they decide to just stretch certain scenes of the episode so that they get more like
Out of it. Sure.
Fight scenes for days,
or like
Yeah.
just like weird conversations or
I
like
gotcha,
you know what I mean, like just to kind of pull a little bit more merchandise money or whatever out of it.
Like
So-
how many times do we have to get a life flashes before their eyes scenes in one season? Please tell me.
Dude, it's
because
just-
I
at
counted and there's 6 in this season.
At this
6 of them.
point, it's just a staple.
I hate it. It's my least favorite because at that point I already don't give a fuck about those characters who are about to die.
I'm also getting I'm getting a little eye rolly with it now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, I have to say like I'm fucking selective though as fuck. Because there are
Some of them you like?
Dude, there was some that this season that straight up fucking had me crying like a little baby ass bitch.
Yeah.
And then there were some that I was just like rolling
So
my
cut and
eyes
dry.
like,
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, I don't care.
Yeah. We'll
at
get to them in
all.
plot because I have little notes about them each one, but we'll get there.
So I'm saying I can't make up my mind.
sure.
I would be sad if they were gone.
Yeah. Because
I mean,
there's
they could
certain
pick and
characters
choose.
that you
They could be
would
smarter.
really like, right? Like, fuck, I still can't remember her fucking name.
Kenroji.
Right? If you got Kenroji's backstory, that'd be
We did get one of hers.
Well, yes, but like
She was about to die and had a life flash before her.
Yeah, all about her hair changing color and
yes,
everything.
but like I
It was
mean, even
really
and her
nice.
more
stockings
so.
were given to her by one of the other Hashra.
Yes, that's
right.
true. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, but I was thinking like even more so, right?
Okay.
I disagree. I don't want any more. I'm good with what I got. I got as much as I needed.
You know what? I wasn't fucking talking to you.
I know you were
How
talking
about
to me.
this? How about this? I agree with both of you because I was very satisfied with what I got, but I would also happily take more.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, let's talk about her. Let's move on to characters. Let's talk about her first because we seem to be pretty enamored by her. So, again, we had established the whip sword is cool as hell.
Yes.
A little random, a little like, how do we
love
make
it.
it? How do we make it different? And then they just pick a thing and do it. It looks great. Don't get me wrong. It's just a little like, what?
Well,
okay,
I mean,
sure.
the whip sword or like
Like, how does a sword do that?
so.
What's the mechanics behind
It's not the first time I've seen something like that.
No,
actually.
it's
All
like
right.
if you've ever played Soul Calibur, like
Yeah.
you have the girl with the whip sword, and then it's like
Yeah.
like has a big rope in the center of it, and then you can
All right.
pull it all in. And
How
then
can it be
becomes a
so
regular
flexible
zone.
and also so sharp?
Movie magic?
I was gonna say it's definitely like not based on real
I know,
science
it's
or
just
real
weird,
weapons.
but give me a little bit of mechanics.
And then
about
also-
it. That's the backstory I want.
Also, I can't speak to like a lot of
would
the other
watch that.
ones, but like if anybody out there played Elden Ring, like they have
Yeah.
they have swords as well that are like they're more like a sickle shape when they're just like stationary, but then
Yeah.
as soon as you actually start whipping them around, they like extend out and they operate a lot like her sword does.
I would have liked. I
Big
feel
thing
like
in video games in like Japan, like they
Sure.
just seem to really love whip swords.
I do feel like missed opportunity though to have a whole season featuring her and her whip sword specifically take place in the Swordsmith village and not explain
it.
how maybe it was made
Yeah.
and why
Yeah.
it's special.
I'll give you
missed
that.
opportunity.
Yeah, that would be a miss. That would
Yeah.
be cool to watch and see what happens.
Another. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no! The other thing though is like I was really surprised. I'm gonna go back to it. I really thought she wasn't gonna be so over the top cutesy.
Yeah, well, here's what I was going to get
So
to. What
kawaii.
bothers me about her, not only is she so kawaii,
Yeah.
but also she's introduced at a time when Tanjiro is like exceeding the strength and power of a lot of the Hashira.
Yeah.
And so for her to come around as this like
Wait,
female
wait. What was that assumption?
maybe not exceeding strength and power of Hashira, but he's
Not a
like
single one.
okay, but like he definitely saved the day here, and she was gonna die, right?
He's just finally approaching
Okay. Ignore that.
the realm that
Listen
they
to the
exist
point.
in.
Listen to the point that I'm
Because
trying to
she's
make.
she's taking on.
It's important though, because the whole
Okay.
point you're making hinges on that. But,
But
anyways,
what happens that's a little unfortunate is like it actually kind of like removes her. It kind of like takes away from her impressiveness as a powerful force. As like a female Hashira to come in and like save the day and do something crazy, for her to come in on the one where Tanjiro actually saves the day. You just see what I'm saying?
Well, Tanjiro
Like she
wouldn't have
comes
been
in
able
all
to-
kawaii and cute, and yeah, okay, she's fighting and she looks cool, but she's gonna die, and he saves her.
No. Wait here. Tanjiro, the only reason why Tanjiro could save the day is because of her, because she's the only one that could go one-on-one
Yeah.
with the not the main body, but the fighting
Yeah.
the big bad body.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
they save each other multiple times.
Yeah.
You're right. Everyone saves each
It's a
other
trade-off.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, And I understand it's going to lessen the impact she has compared to somebody like a Rengoku or a Tengen who walked in and were fucking basically set up to solo
Totally.
these
Yeah.
upper ranks. Basically, you never see Kanroji in that light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
Exactly.
the same. And it's the same thing with fucking what's his face? I friggin' forget
Misty Boy.
his name. Yeah, like it's the same.
Tokito?
Tokito.
Yeah, like until you see him kill the fucking
Yeah.
jar one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like and actually fucking finish the job, like
Yeah.
up until that point, he doesn't have that same mystique that Rengoku and Tengen had.
Sure.
Yeah. Or the same prowess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
it didn't
like-
feel like he was as developed yet or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But also, you got to keep in mind, right? Like some of these Hashira have been Hashira for longer than others. Some of them
Yeah.
are just newly Hashira.
Sure.
Some of them aren't that far ahead
Sure.
of Tanjiro. And spoiler alert for anybody who doesn't know, the next arc is considered. No, this has been announced for the next
I
anime
don't know.
season. The next anime season
Yeah. It's just the next anime.
has been titled the Hashira training arc.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds boring as hell.
which really confirms what everybody has thought, which means that Tanjiro is on his way to becoming a Hashira.
Yeah. I mean, that's been clear
Right.
from day one.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, but it looks like we're about
Yeah.
to get to that point
Sure.
where it's time to train.
Yeah.
So that we can, as we
Yeah.
said, drop the needle and actually have the series pop off.
Totally.
The way we want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, everything is also riding on Nezuko now.
Speaking of my favorite
You wanna
character
talk
of the
about her?
season, without even fucking a question,
Yeah.
like the way that I was starting to worry that we were getting a broken record of
Yeah.
a character,
Yeah.
plot armor character.
Yeah. I mean, she's still got
and
loads of plot armor.
I have
In
not
fact, brand new plot armor.
I didn't say.
No, it's not plot armor. It's the plot is now moving forward because of that whole
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, and she's still armored by it.
Yeah. Big time.
Fine,
Yeah.
fuck you both.
Armored from the sun by it.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and like it was just very refreshing to get
Yeah.
back kind of in touch with one of the OG characters, and to kind of just have those moments where you do feel
Yeah.
the juxtaposition between where you started the series and the situation she was in and the way the world viewed her, the way Tanjiro viewed her, and where you're at now.
Yeah.
It's kind of been gradual where you've seen her develop into this like badass demon bitch. And then, you know, at no point have you had a chance to just stop and just look back for a moment and really take in that journey for her.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, like, by the end of the series, like, by that last episode, I was fucking crying my eyes out because it was just so overwhelming to watch her journey. And then, especially in the face of her, hold on a second.
Yeah.
that one almost caught me there.
Yeah, Jay's feeling the feelings.
I'm not we'll get into it in plot, but like when she makes the decision she makes on Tanjiro's behalf.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa, man. The timing of everything was orchestrated very beautifully by the creators of this show. They fucking knew exactly what they were doing, and it worked like a charm on me.
Yeah.
It didn't quite work like a charm on me, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it was well done.
Yes.
Right.
I'll give it that.
Yeah, and like just to further your point, it's when you're looking at Nezuko's entire story arc, like her personal one, you don't get the same kind of growth that you do with Tanjiro. It's very like staccato. Like
they've muted her as a human because she's not one anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So she doesn't have the depth of a human. In fact, when she does get little bits of humanity, it's a huge moment.
Yes.
They all notice it.
That's
like,
what they've
whoa.
done to her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So it just hits you that much harder.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was a huge season for her. I thought she was the MVP of the season for me, not just narratively for obvious reasons if you've fucking seen it, but just like I think as far as
or Reddit.
a character that I'm feeling, you know, much more connected to at the end of the season than I did at the beginning.
They're also like
Nezuko,
they're
for
also
sure.
furthering how her and Tanjiro are truly a pair and like a force together, stronger
their
together than
bond.
they are individually, right? Like there's moments that he couldn't have pulled off without her having been a part of them, right?
Yeah,
In any
I mean,
moment.
like full on, like she has this like sixth sense of when Tanjiro's in danger and like comes in and like sacrifices an arm, right? And
not
shit
to mention
like that.
like, okay, he's strong and whatever, has a crazy good sword or whatever, but when her blood's on it,
yes,
it's a whole different thing.
Well, that one scene where she just holds on to the sword and Tanjiro's like, "What are you doing?" Right? Like, let go, right? And then
neither of them know what they're doing, but then both of them are like, "Oh, right, together."
Yes.
Together.
But it's also her, she's the one doing it. She's the one who thought of this idea to put her blood on Tanjiro's sword.
I don't think she was doing that on purpose.
I think so.
she was.
You think so?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
She's got some really good intuition. And that actually brings me to another thing I wanted to give a shout out to for this season, and especially Nezuko. Their portrayal of a panic attack in the hands of Tanjiro in that final episode. The pace and violence of his breathing as he was freaking out. And
that was good.
Whew, man, like I can barely even talk about it right now because I was like, fuck, like the relation to like that exact moment he was in and their capture of it was over fucking whelming. But then like her intuition in that moment to recognize that he was having that happen. She's literally burning to death.
Yeah.
And even through that, she had the intuition and the connection to her brother to recognize he needs me right now to step in and do something for him as she's burning alive.
Yeah.
They simply cannot further the bond, in my opinion.
Yeah.
After this. Yeah,
At
they
this
can't.
point.
Yeah.
They'll find a way.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
they'll
will.
blow my mind because I would never have been able to put this together in my head either.
Yeah.
But like, wow, man. Like, say what you want about this season and it feeling unimportant and stuff, but like I said, the stuff they gave you along the way was just unfucking real, man.
I feel like it
Unreal.
was all payoff at the end, not along the way, in my opinion.
Build up though, man.
Yeah,
like
it is.
payoff at the end is okay, as long as you're getting the payoff at the end.
Yeah, you get the catharsis.
What's wrong with payoff at the end?
I mean, typically that's all stories
when
are
you
like
want the
that.
payoff.
No,
You
that's
get
not
the-
true. A lot of stories give you like a lot of good advancement episode by episode,
But
or at
the-
least like a 3-to-1 ratio of like important episodes to like throwaway fights or whatever.
Yeah.
This
Fuck
was
your
like
ratios,
I'm
dude.
just telling you, dude. Like it helps.
But I mean,
It
like,
helps,
but
man.
most stories are always gonna have your baseline, then your climax,
Yeah.
and then your denouement, and like that's it.
I'm
that's
not
your
saying
payoff.
that's not the case, but I'm saying the build up,
Yeah.
right, to the climax
Yeah.
needs to give you more along the way, as opposed to just fight.
I don't know, man. Because
Climax.
sometimes if they don't give you anything until all of a sudden you get it,
Yeah.
it's almost more impactful. Like it hits
I
you
don't know,
harder.
man.
It hits you harder.
It would be, I don't know, man.
See, I feel like this would have hit me harder too, if it didn't get spoiled for me because I was on the internet and I didn't get
fucked up.
I fucked up hard. I didn't get a chance to go watch the last episode, and I saw something
The
online.
world that you exist in,
yeah,
you're gonna risk it.
yeah, I know it's
At all?
I
Yeah.
know it's
Even
awful.
you're gonna risk it one day.
Yeah.
Well, you know what the problem was? Somebody sent it to me. Yeah.
Unfollow that person.
Having you get
Name
sued.
them and shame them.
Yeah. Boo this person.
But yeah, but you also forgot our unsung hero, our viewers and listeners. If you can like and subscribe,
All right. I was like, which characters are you going to talk about next?
thank you. Mikey! Okay. Thank you. Okay, let me take the stand now. But yeah, if you guys can like and subscribe, tell a friend. It helps
Yeah.
us out. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, give us a rating.
Let's go.
Love you
Please.
guys.
Everything.
And if you're the one person who spoiled it for Mikey, fuck you.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
Word for word.
Everyone else is great, but you suck.
Granted, they probably thought I have already seen it.
Just kidding. If they're
Right.
watching, I please hope that you know that I'm joking.
Yeah, we just ranted on that season hard, eh?
Yeah, I mean, we're deep now. Okay.
Okay, let's get into plot.
Well, we didn't even touch on so many characters, man, but fuck them.
Well, we'll talk about them
All right.
during plot.
All right. Okay, so
It's actually not a bad idea because I think the rest of them are kind of plot.
So it opens up and we're in the upper rank demon HQ, whatever the fuck you wanted to. What did you call it? Infinity room or something?
Infinity
Infinity
Castle.
Castle.
And there's this like guitar demon who's like moving all the other demons around by plucking strings, which is weird.
I actually love her.
I mean,
I feel
I'm
like-
intrigued a little bit.
I wish I did see more of her but I also kind of feel like it'd be cool if they had like a little snippet. Like, you know how anime always has like
Yeah.
some kind of comedy little bit at the
Yeah.
end of the credits. If they had one where like she was playing and one of the other demons like, hey, can you send me here or can you send me there? And she's like, no. And like sends them like somewhere crazy. Like
Wow, really good writing, Mikey. You're really good at that.
it's not really. It's literally like a 2-second fucking clip.
idea.
Yeah.
Fuck you both, man. Fuck you both.
Anyway, she does seem pretty powerful the way she has some sort of agency over the other demons
Yeah.
and they can't do anything about it. That's interesting. I do kind of feel, and we don't have to get on a tangent like this, but I do feel like a lot of the demon powers feel kind of like plucked out of a hat. They feel kind of Pokemon-y at some points where they're just like, nah, this one's a dragon and a fighter jet. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just kind of make it. They're like, this one's got a guitar. Make it cool.
I mean, that is pretty Pokemon-y. There is like a dragon Pokemon that's like a fighter jet.
Literally, I know that, and that's why I said that. I'm just saying they seem a little random, right? Like
Yeah.
we don't have to get on a tangent.
The thing that like plays the guitar, like boom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember what that
I
instrument is
also
called.
forget, but that's definitely traditional, and like that's definitely like a transportation method, right? Like
Yeah, it just seemed a little random.
Yeah, but like the upper ranks themselves, like I think are all like kind of thematically different.
Well, let's talk about them because in this scene we meet a bunch of them, right? You have
Yeah.
Akaza's there. We've met him before.
Yes.
We have this like weird
Fuck that
rearranged baby limb genie demon who also we find out later has a water and fish theme. Like that's random as fuck, man.
Yeah, that was pretty random.
There's also this weird, terrified, like pathetic gargoyle demon who I'm going to call the pathetic gargoyle throughout the course of the show.
But he was the best demon.
I disagree. I didn't like him at all.
What are you
We'll talk
talking
about it later. There's
Conceptually, he was the best.
I mean, he looks like a demon, but I hate him.
Hantengu.
Yeah,
I
whatever.
actually kind of liked him, like especially
Yeah.
towards the end when he was just really little. And he was just running around like all scared, and he was just like this big. I was like, oh, like just let him go.
I hated it.
He's
I
just
hated
a little
it.
guy.
I was annoyed by that, to be honest with you.
No, conceptually, that demon is probably one of the best, I think.
I thought it was very
written.
cool.
Well,
Yeah.
agree to disagree. There's also a random, like a cocky androgynous vampire demon who we don't know anything about.
yeah,
and then there's
that's Doma.
Then there's the mysterious six-eyed samurai who's like upper one,
Kokushibo.
number
Yeah.
one. We don't know anything about that one yet either.
Well, we get a little taste of their power.
A little
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like he's so far above number 2.
yeah.
Right? That like people are just like, oh, I was just joking, you know.
I mean,
We're just,
he's going to become a big deal. I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
We'll get him later. I don't know if we'll get a big deal out of all of these ones because that's not how this show always works, right? There were 12 of them.
Well, but now there are 3 left.
And he's not
Yeah.
making any more. He was real clear about that at the end.
yeah.
And I think they laid some interesting seeds within the personalities and the relationships between Doma, Akaza.
Yeah.
Kokushibo obviously is kind of just like this overwhelming like beat stick that like reigns over them, but I loved Doma's character. I like really loved like the androgyny and like
Yeah.
the just the mischievous nature and
Yeah,
like the
kind of the
innocence.
Loki style.
Yeah. But there was like some innocence because he just like had like this childlike curiosity to what was going on and just kind of wanted to go hang out and see what was up. I love that like that kind of quality.
He's also like Kazi? Or what's it called?
Akaza?
Akaza.
He
From
is-
Mugen Train?
Yeah, he's kind of jealous of him too because technically he became
Demon before him.
before him.
Yeah.
But Doma
and Doma
surpassed him.
surpassed him.
Akaza has an inferiority complex.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Hunch.
Since we met
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
insecure.
Yeah.
But also still like very powerful, you know what I mean? And like I think, it doesn't he's 3. He's not like he's right on the fucking doorstep as well.
There's something to be said for the fact that he was already around, faced our guys and a Hashira, and is still around.
and killed Rengoku.
Yeah, and he's still around. He'll be back with a vengeance. And you can maybe clear this up for me, but like there's the upper one guy, I forget his name. You keep saying his name.
Kokushibo.
There's a scene where they imply that he's the guy with Tanjiro's earrings and the red cloak.
Yeah.
Is that him?
So
Before he turned demon,
they've been
or are these
planting
all red herrings?
Well, they've
Yeah.
been planting these seeds.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't know what's a red herring and what's not, right?
Yeah.
Because all you know is that Tanjiro remembers somebody very vaguely in his head
yeah.
that seemingly had his same hair color,
Yeah.
had his earrings, and had the
this-
marking
yeah.
on the
On his
forehead.
face, yeah, the burn
right?
or whatever,
The,
yeah.
the flame thing or whatever. And Tanjiro didn't know who he was, and the story didn't give you anything for you to think anything other than, oh, that must be Tanjiro's father.
Yeah.
Yes.
Until the
They
story.
even went as far to imply it's probably his father.
Until
Yeah.
the story showed you
Yeah.
Tanjiro's father,
Yeah.
who looks
Act-
100% a 100% Tanjiro.
Yeah.
It's just a Tanjiro clone.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you realize, oh wait, that's not Tanjiro's father. And then they start hitting you with the
It could be
mystique
this, or it could be
about.
this.
Well, they
Yeah.
hit,
Could be
they,
this.
they hit you with this mystique about this ancient warrior who had lived all these years.
Yeah. Mhm.
They made a robot after him
Yeah.
to mirror his movements, and it needed 6 limbs just to
Yeah.
mirror his movements.
And all the demons have
the
a memory
fuck
of
is
him
this
too
guy?
because he battled Muzan. Muzan?
Muzan.
Yeah.
He battled him once, and they all have his blood, so they all share his collective memory.
Yes.
Right. And then on top of that, you get introduced to the rank upper 1 demon, and he seems
looks
to
like
have almost all of the same characteristics
Yeah.
of this ancient warrior,
Yeah.
plus the multiple eyes.
Yeah.
Right? And you're just like, okay, so like what we're led to believe at that point really is it's not Tanjiro's dad. It's somebody that obviously had some sort of connection with Tanjiro's family,
Yeah.
had some sort of paternal role in Tanjiro's life at
Yeah.
some point. And also at some point, obviously, turned into a fucking demon
Yeah.
and became rank 1
Yeah.
in the process.
Yeah.
So like
And you're just waiting to fill in all those blanks.
there's all
Yeah.
these blanks. How much of that is real? How much of that is red herring? How
Yeah.
much of that is actually going to right field at one point? And who knows
Yeah.
what twists and turns along the way?
Yeah.
I personally am very intrigued.
Same.
I'm intrigued as well too.
Because
I'm
like
intrigued.
in the first season, you see Tanjiro's, who we think is his dad, doing the sun-breathing dance
in the mask.
In the mask, but he has the long hair like that guy,
And
right?
the earrings.
So
it is that guy.
It's
that guy.
That guy.
It just
Not
was
his
never
dad.
his dad.
Yeah.
Tanjiro even you find out that guy was like a traveling warrior or whatever who came by Tanjiro's house once upon a time and left an imprint on him, right?
Exactly. How long he stayed there? Who knows? What his impact?
What he did to Tanjiro? Why they both have the thing? He did something.
Maybe
to Tanjiro.
Tanjiro's dad died, and then he took care of the mom, and then remarried with the mom, and became his stepdad.
He did some weird fucking magic thing to Tanjiro when he was a child.
We don't know.
There's some connection, regardless. Let's get back to it. We're fucking we're deep on this one, guys. Holy shit.
Because this show's amazing.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
You're claiming the show fucking just had a long battle and then a bunch of shit at the end. So, continue to prove yourself wrong, please.
Just fucking cold, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Fuck you,
But we
Jordy.
all agree that Godzilla breathes fire, right?
You fucker.
All right, so we see our team,
burned me.
our dudes. Wow, inside baseball. We see our dudes after a 2-month coma. They wake up in the healing house again, and I'm like, oh god, here we go again. It's gonna be like this every fucking season. And Tanjiro immediately he's like, oh, I need a new sword. And he gets a letter from his swordsmith, his guy who made his sword, who's fucking pissed at him, obviously, as always, because he fucked up his sword, and that he has to go to the village this time. They're not going to come to him, so he's got to go.
I actually I thought he was an annoying character.
Yeah.
Like in the first few seasons.
They made him something else in this season.
Oh, dude. I'm jumping a little bit, but like when his mask broke off.
Oh, yeah.
The panties that dropped, like
yours,
everyone's panties that dropped, seeing his face. Oh man, I even know in the TikTok community, so many people.
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, dude, it's like because he wasn't like crazy buff either in the first few seasons.
Yeah, he looked like a big gut kind of guy.
He just looked like a normal dude.
Yeah,
right.
All right.
Now he's ripped.
Yeah.
All right, he was definitely a highlight this season too. For sure.
Okay, so at the village, all the swordsmiths wear those masks. We talked about that. Kenroji and Genya are also there, and I'm like, have we met Genya already? I don't have a memory of him. I don't remember when we met him.
Yeah, we met him at the selection.
Okay, but it was brief, right?
Yeah,
I'm
very
right about
brief.
that? Okay.
But he was just all you need to know is like he was just always like a pompous dick.
Yeah.
That's all.
I have a hard time remembering. There were a lot of characters in those early seasons that came and went in like one scene.
Well, and you don't know who you're supposed to remember and who you're not. I mean, some of them have some interesting character designs that you're like, okay, that's probably a serious character.
Also, you forget a lot or don't catch a lot.
Okay, so Tokito, the Mist Hashira, is also there.
Yes.
And we meet this kid who's like training to be a swordsmith, I guess. He wears the mask, and he's got this
Kotetsu.
He's got this robot, which they're very clear that it's irreplaceable and unreplicatable. They're very clear about that. It's like this training robot or whatever, and
it's like an advanced piece of technology that predates them.
Yeah,
that
nobody can make
it.
it. Yeah, nobody can figure it out. I'm like, I think they just didn't look close enough to try. Is my guess. Anyways, he agrees to kind of like train with Tanjiro, and they're like working together on it, and they break the fucking. Someone breaks it.
Tanjiro, I think,
breaks it.
Breaks it.
Anyways, inside is a sword.
Yes.
And it's 300 fucking years old and rusted to shit, and it's all fucked up. But still, they can look at it and be like, there's something that's important.
Yeah.
That's been in there for 300 years.
I would also think the same thing.
Someone put that in there for a reason.
If like my thinking would be like, this is a fucking magical sword, only because it's like powering.
You know what it is?
Fucking
Excalibur.
Wow.
Yeah. Crossover.
Deep cut.
Yeah. Okay, so meanwhile, a dude at night in the village is violently sucked into a vase. And it's like pretty aggressive and then spit out of the vase. It's disgusting. And so we've met that fucking weird baby-limbed genie demon. He's in town. Also, the pathetic gargoyle demon is in town and just waltzes in the room on them. Like just walks in the room, whining and crying and carrying on. Yeah. Immediately, our heroes like go into move. Like the one dude does the mist breathing, Tanjiro does his weird fire breathing, and Nezuko's boobs grow.
Yes.
That's their response.
Yep. Always.
That
You forgot
immediately. That's the
forgot
first thing.
tattoos,
Bam, bam,
though.
bam. Oh yeah, the tattoos are badass. I'll be honest with you. I could go without the boobs.
What?
Yeah, what?
It's just
Yo, I
so.
almost
We
spat out
talked
my
about
drink.
this on the last season, dude. It's just very off-putting
No,
that they
you're right.
do that. It's
You're-
off-putting.
You're right, but I just to say that about boobs.
I like boobs. These ones specifically make me feel gross.
Because you see the entire progression from being like a child to like an adult.
Yeah, multiple times back and forth.
Yeah.
Anyways, we don't need to do that again. So they are quick to behead it, but it multiplies, and they're like, "Wait, what the fuck?" And then this gets really confusing for a minute. But I just kind of let it be that they split and rejoin as they want. This demon does that. Maybe other demons do that. I mean,
But
whatever.
This is what I'm talking about. How it was a very conceptually great demon. You don't see many demons that are not only split. Like you see the Hydra thing like all the time.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
But this is based off of specific emotions.
I agree.
Right?
That was interesting to a point. It did also open the door up for our heroes to make a lot of just like assumptions and realizations, which we've talked about also gets annoying. Oh, it must split. Oh, it gets weaker every time it splits. Oh, wait a minute. If you split it, they get more powerful. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
How are
but
they just making this up as they go
No,
along?
but those are the assumptions that you would make in a fight like that. If you're fighting something that regenerates or splits apart, you're going to be thinking, okay, how the fuck am I going to kill this thing? So it must be this. Oh, it must
Yeah.
be that. Okay, no,
It's a lot to hedge
not-
your bets on, though.
It just
without
convoluted
actually
itself a
knowing.
bit. It convoluted itself a bit.
I agree. Like you're right, Mikey. Like that, those you have to be thinking that way strategically if you're trying to kill it. But like, they are real confident every time on their first guess.
Yep.
And they're right.
Yeah.
Every time on their first
every
guess.
time,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, like,
each one's a different emotion, and at first, the more they split, the more powerful they become, and then the more they split, the weaker they become.
Yeah.
Right? Which is like, what the fuck? Meanwhile, we find out Genya has like a gun that works like one of the demon swords.
Okay, so I had this conversation
you mean
with somebody.
Gunya?
Gunya, yeah. I had this
Ew.
conversation with somebody where it's like, it's typical anime, typical video game, like physics. Like, where does Genya put that fucking gun? Right? Like, he just pulls it out of nowhere sometimes.
It's just tucked in the back of his pants, I guess.
Right? Like, but like, you would see that gun
Yeah.
protrude. Like,
It's like Zelda's got a bag full of items, but like, where the fuck are all those
Yeah.
items? Yeah.
Dude, I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom right now.
They
of course.
take it and they put it up their asshole.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go. Let's keep going.
Nice. So
Is that a good
Genya-
answer?
So Genya pulls a gun out of his asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
But he's not.
But, yeah.
They're too strong because at this point they've only split two ways, maybe three. I can't remember.
Three, I
He
think.
gets stabbed by one of them, but he's not dead.
No.
Meanwhile, he's kind of turning more and more demonish.
Yes.
They don't really explain this at all. I'm like, is he a demon? What the fuck's going on with him? I kind of am assuming that this guy is part demon.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know.
explain it later on.
Do they though?
Yeah, he eats demon flesh.
Yeah, but what is that? That makes him part demon as he does it.
Yeah, so he,
All
essentially
the
he's
explanation we get is he goes to do that and goes, I get stronger from doing this. And Tanjiro goes, no, but your stomach's going to get hurt. You're going to upset your belly. That's the only explanation we get of that, as far as I remember.
At first,
At
but
first,
later
okay.
on, they do talk about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, that also is confusing because I'm like, what's happening here? And I'm just supposed to not care until they tell me. I'm just supposed to let it be. And I'm like, this is a little bit annoying because, like, if you're going to show me things like that, for me and my sensibilities,
Okay.
I'm like, tell me a little bit about it so I can get excited and get invested. Do you know what
How
I mean?
can you not accept that, but watch JJK and accept a dude eating a fucking finger and getting demon powers?
That's episode 1, and they explain how that works with sacred objects and cursed objects and cursed energy.
And you
Yeah.
did still kind of have a problem with that too. Actually,
Probably I did. Yeah, you're right. Probably I did.
a little bit.
Anyways.
No, like they definitely mentioned several times throughout the series that, like, you know, if you were to consume demon's blood or flesh,
yeah.
then it could potentially change you,
Okay.
right? And that after doing that for long enough, you could eventually become a demon.
Okay,
You know what
well-
I mean? Like, this is
I somehow missed that in the major amount of things they just mentioned once and then put aside.
Well,
granted, yes.
Yeah.
But yes, you did miss that.
Yeah, I
Yes.
miss things.
Okay.
That's been well established on our show.
Moving on.
See,
Okay,
a lot
so-
of these shows give you this. You have to catch it, and then you have to remember it. It's
And then-
all important.
And then here's the deal.
I'm not made for
and then,
this
and then-
type of-
No, but here's the deal. When it pops up later and you're like, what? Really? the best bet is to just assume
I missed
you
it?
fucking missed it.
I did that a lot.
Yeah.
I did that a lot in this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
But
that a
like,
lot.
you'd be surprised. That gets you through a lot of anime, man.
I
Yeah.
guess, yeah. That
Well,
annoys me. That
I
annoys
think-
me. It makes me feel stupid.
Well, it's
Maybe you are.
we had this
Hey.
conversation
Hey.
like early on in our podcast career, where it's like when someone asks you like what kind of anime like would they recommend, it's like everyone's anime bullshit tolerance is
Yeah.
different,
Yeah.
right? Because there's
Yeah.
always going to be amount of bullshit from anime,
Yeah.
right? And my tolerance is incredibly high.
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
Yeah,
That's why I sit
almost
over here.
consume it.
That's why I sit over here. Anyways, moving on.
Anyway,
Okay.
moving on.
Meanwhile, Nezuko's like raging and constantly like losing limbs and regenerating them. She ends up taking a massive stab through the throat, which
Dude,
was really intense, dude.
That was an awesome scene.
She also gets kicked clean through her gut.
Yeah.
Right through her gut, dude. But like
Ugh.
again, we know there's plot armor on her and Tanjiro at the very least, and she'll never die.
No,
So,
but at the
no,
same time,
she'll never die.
no, well, no, I know.
I'm not
I'm
scared
agreed-
at any time she takes a
I'm
blow like
agreed
that.
with you, but it was just so funny because it reminded me. I was having a conversation with one of our buddies, actually, all of ours, that if this season wasn't as action packed or as like heavy in the fucking
I disagree.
violence, and I'm like, dude, did you not see the fucking like pull through her throat?
Oh yeah,
like, that
it was violent.
intense.
It was violent.
It was quite violent. There were
Very
a lot
violent.
of very violent.
Speaking of
things.
violent, there's fish demons everywhere.
Yeah, that I could honestly just done it without. They could have done something else.
Like this bothered me. This demon was my least favorite demon of all. I think he's the most random, dude.
I also agree.
Why the
Yeah.
baby limbs? Why the genie? Why the
little-
fish in the
little
water?
baby hands were
Yeah.
so fucking weird.
So
dude.
dumb, dude. Anyways, we don't have to talk about
I
him a
didn't
lot.
mind. I didn't mind his like character design because
Yeah.
you know demons are supposed to be creepy and
Yeah.
you're just disgusted by them. My one issue was like the fish thing was so strange and so out of nowhere. Like I like the jar. Just stick with the jar.
Genie.
Genie.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
That's not that bad. Fish
Yeah.
made it weird. Also,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, later, a snake.
No, he turned like. I joke around and say he's a mermaid. But,
I don't know. It was
Yeah.
fucking weird. Anyways, doesn't matter. We also learned through the fish for the first time that like beheadings sometimes don't matter. It's not always the head.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've learned that because even the last demon where the beheading didn't work, we found out that it was because you needed to behead them both at the same time.
yes.
This time it's like might not even be the head. And I'm like, this also keeps diluting things. They do this all the time. They introduce like a mechanism, and then like in the next season, they're like, oh, but that mechanism isn't the way it always is. And now we're like constantly like further diluting the concept of what demons are and how to kill them. And I'm like, it would have been better if they didn't lean their heels in so hard on like, this is how demons are in the first couple seasons.
No, but to their point, it's like they've never actually killed an upper ranked demon until Tanjiro joined the team.
Right.
Right? So for the longest time,
Sure.
the only thing that they knew
Yeah.
that was like fucking solid was to behead a demon.
Sure.
Right? So that's what they were going on. And now they're fighting all these upper ranks that nobody's ever really fought before and had a hard time even just surviving.
That's fair.
Right? Are learning, oh, when they're up this high, things change. It's different. Right?
That's
And
fair.
then of course eventually you learn that like Muzan's entire MO basically is to breed out all of the weaknesses in
Yeah.
Yeah.
demons
Yeah.
selectively, which you can guess like the 12 Kibutsuji, like they're essentially his top prospects for his experiments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's
Yeah.
giving them his blood to help them get over their weaknesses and their ailments. So
sure.
of course they're going to have
Yeah.
none of the weaknesses of other demons.
Yeah. And his goal, we
Feels
also
like plot
learned.
armor, but it makes sense narratively.
It does. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk more about him later because he becomes super important towards the end.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Tanjiro is fighting like the bird version of this demon. There's a bird version.
Yeah.
And he finds out that if he, because there's also poison involved. Some of them are poison. He
Yeah,
finds out that
well-
if he uses the bird, the severed bird foot to touch the poison parts, he won't get poisoned.
Yes. The
Another assumption that just works out
yeah.
for him.
Well, a lot of this stuff, like the bird guy, is kind of like is Tengu, I think. Like it's derivative of different like folklore, yokai.
I'm
or
sure it all
monsters.
is. It's just again diluting. Each one of these guys is just like, what? A bird now? Like why? You know what I mean? Anyways, Kenroji shows up and she's attacking the fish demons, and she saves the chief from being killed by a fish demon, which, by the way, was everyone's main objective right now, even over saving children and others in danger. They're all like, fuck these children who are dying, save the chief. Which on one hand I get, because they say he's the only one who carries the knowledge of making the swords or whatever, but on the other hand, like, save the children. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come
All
on.
right. So, meanwhile, there's going to be a lot of that. Meanwhile, Tokito and the kid are fighting the deformed baby-limbed genie. And again, this show hops back and forth between a lot of battles happening at the same time.
it does.
I've streamlined my notes. So we're going to talk about this fight for a little bit, okay?
That's fine. I'm totally okay with that.
Okay, great. So he shows off his art, which is basically like the deformed, dismembered swordsmith that he killed, all like stacked up in a like twisted fucking thing,
And then he
can
twists
he
some
can-
of the
he
swords
can,
that are
and
in them.
recreate their death throws,
Yeah.
which traumatizes this child, which in turn traumatizes me. And I
That was some
dislike
dark
it.
shit.
That was the
Yeah.
darkest we've seen,
Yeah.
maybe in this whole show.
Yeah.
I think so.
Maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
Since the first episode, anyhow, when Tanjiro's entire family is slaughtered, and
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Right.
well, the
Yeah.
difference between Tanjiro's family being slaughtered is
Yeah.
that like you just see death, right? And that's
Yeah.
typical.
Aftermath.
You're
the
right.
aftermath, right?
You're right.
You don't see real torture.
oh, you're right.
Right,
This
like,
is
it's the-
psychopathy at its
yeah.
finest. Yeah.
Once you add psychopathy on top of like
Yeah.
killing,
Yeah.
that's when it gets really disturbing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mikey's a pro on this.
Anyways,
He knows all about
he
it.
does, Mikey. He's a pro psychopath.
yeah.
Anyways, to lighten it up a bit, there's more fish. And this time they're goldfish, but they also shoot poison needles, and Tokito gets hit. Then the genie makes a giant water vase and traps Tokito inside.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
Yep. It's
Then the
This one's
genie
a strange
goes
one.
into the shack and finds that swordsmith, whose name I can't remember, working on a sword and completely oblivious to everything that's happening around him. And
Nezuko.
this rattles the fuck out of that demon. He's not even trying to kill anymore. At this point,
Yeah.
he literally goes, I don't even want to murder this guy. I just need to make him stop, because the fact that he's not paying attention to me is
Yeah.
killing my fucking soul.
Yeah, it's the concentration, like it's the ego battle now.
Yeah.
It's such a
Right.
hilarious trade-off to have as a demon.
Yeah.
Dude.
He gives me
Ego,
total
yeah.
Hisoka vibes in like a weird way.
Sure, I believe it.
Yeah.
I even get that reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so meanwhile, while this is happening in the shack, outside the shack, the kid is trying to save Tokito.
Yeah.
And he then gets stabbed by a little fish demon who comes out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then randomly, while he's dying, he just blows air into the vase. I don't know if that's some weird like death clarity, which is also really strange because he actually like never got hurt. We find out later.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the fuck happened there. Either way, the breathing into the vase somehow gives Tokito the power to just break it. I don't know how.
So he's technically not in a vase. He's in a fucking like water bubble.
It's shaped
And-
like a vase, though.
Yeah, it's
it is
shaped
water. I
but-
call it, yeah. But anyways.
Right, but the whole idea is that you need air in order to use your techniques, and because he ran out of air,
Yeah.
getting
Oh, right,
even
'cause it's
that
breathing.
breath, yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
breath
well
of
done.
air,
Thank
he's
you.
able to do it.
Sometimes you guys do clear it up. And sometimes I'm just not listening. I'm going to be honest
Glad
with you.
you said it.
Yeah,
So, yeah. After he breaks out of the vase, or right before, maybe, I can't remember, he gets a flashback, one of many.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like mom and dad are dead, blah, blah, blah. Demon attacks. He goes berserk. He kills the demon. His brother dies in front of him. Him and his brother were like surviving together. And
Yeah.
his brother dies in front of him. And then he becomes a Hashira.
yeah, more or less.
I'll give you that there was a lot more emotions than I'm giving it, but
yeah,
I
that's the Cole's notes. At
I
least.
didn't really care.
No, and one of the takeaways as well is that Tanjiro and Tokito's father had the same color eyes.
Yeah.
And that like
They-
it explains like the weird kind of endearment Tokito kind of has towards Tanjiro that he can't explain up until that
Yeah.
point. And why when Tanjiro like says some things to him earlier, like what you do now will come back around to you later.
Which
like,
is why he turns aside from saving the chief and goes
and
to
actually
save the
listens,
kid.
and,
Yeah.
and you wonder at that moment, like, why is he just deciding to listen to Tanjiro all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Because Tanjiro is reminding him of his father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
and you
also
don't realize that until this moment, and I think it's actually quite nice.
Sure. They also kind of imply that the like ancient warrior who turned into the upper rank number 1 might be his dad. In
Well,
relating him to Tanjiro's memory.
Yeah,
Another
there's
little seed,
weird
as you put it.
crossover, and
Yeah.
like they're almost like related.
Yeah.
Because you see they're both of them are the only ones that have the mark that come in when they use their breathing technique.
Yeah.
Right. So
Mark.
Well, no, they all develop marks, the unique marks. All the Hashira
Okay.
have a
I guess,
mark.
I guess that's yeah.
Tokito has his come on his cheeks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What's her face gets it on her neck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There you go.
Okay, the genie is now a snake for some reason, as we talked about. And also we find out that his new power when he's a snake is everything he touches turns to fish, like some fucked up King Midas situation.
Yeah.
And
He's so content with himself too. He's just like,
didn't you notice? When I touched your shirt, it turned to fish. And Tokito's like trash talking him hard. Like literally like just so calm and be like, it's not that impressive.
Yeah.
You're fucking nothing.
holy fuck, that's funny.
And then he slices him to pieces. So he gets his demon, upper rank killed.
Upper rank
at this point.
done.
And it turns out we find out that the kid didn't get hurt from the little fish demon because he actually had the hilt from Rengoku's sword that Tanjiro gave him
Yeah. It's awesome.
inside his shirt. It saved him.
Yes.
So
Fantastic.
Rengoku saves again.
Big fan.
I like that. Okay, here's the other fight that's happening. Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Genya are fighting this pathetic gargoyle and all his emotions. There's a million. Nezuko saves Tanjiro saves Nezuka, Genya saves them both. It's like that's happening like a million times. It's starting to get a little annoying, but also the fights are amazing, so whatever. The town,
I was very similar mindset at that point.
yeah. The town's getting destroyed again, like just torn to shit. And then we get this crazy scene where Nezuko's like under some rubble and he's trying to help her out and she's holding onto the sword.
Yes.
And she's getting the blood all over it, and all of a sudden there's an exploding blood fire sword.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about that. That was dope.
That was great. We talked about that. Tanjiro gives himself like a self pep talk, which he does a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you're about to fucking take on an upper rank. You gotta psych yourself up.
Totally. And yeah, then he has this, he remembers this memory again of this other swordsman. He's like sort of piecing that memory together of who had a black sword that turned red. And the demons also, when they see the sword, they all of a sudden remember it, like we talked about earlier, because they have Muzan's memory. Okay, so we find out that the original gargoyle, even though we thought he was gone when they split, he's still out there. He's just tiny now. Like we talked about, running around, hiding,
running around, being cute.
and he's got this gross boil on his head. Like I just like him.
But I like the fact that he was so small, and like his core thing was fear.
Yeah,
And right, like in being fear and meek and running
Yeah.
away, while all his other emotions that are more confident,
yeah,
right, are the ones that are fighting.
yeah. That's exactly what I disliked. Personally.
Fuck. Oh man.
Anyways, Tanjiro sniffs him out, which again, I always forget Tanjiro smells good. Like, that's another random thing that if that doesn't become important for other reasons, I'm going to be annoyed that that's a power he has, to be honest with you.
Well, what do you think Tanjiro smells like?
What do you think he smells like?
Yeah, what do you
right
think he
now,
smells-
shit. BO, sweat, yeah.
Yeah.
Blood,
But like
demon filth.
Something-
on a
something
regular
sour.
basis.
Yeah.
On a regular basis.
On a regular
Yeah.
basis, I don't know, like wood, coal,
Yeah, I'd say
Oh,
it's safe
yeah, that
bet.
makes sense,
Safe
yeah.
bet, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
something earthy.
Some sort of oil. He's got that sword he's got to keep sharp. There's probably some oil
Maybe.
going on there.
So, yeah.
Flowers. I'm sure he takes a minute to rub flowers on himself or something.
Yeah, he definitely seems like the type that takes a minute to rub flowers on himself or something.
Yeah. he appreciates those kinds of things. You can tell.
You definitely can tell.
Yeah.
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 I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway.
He's also going through puberty, so like there's
Yeah, there
a
you
bunch of
go.
new smells there probably. He's that age, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. He's going through puberty. We know that.
Don't you think though?
Yeah, I do. I do think that.
How old is he supposed to be?
Not puberty age.
How
you
old?
Fucking weirdo.
12, 13, 14?
Tanjiro?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess at least 15 or
You
16.
think so?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't care even that
Anyway.
much, to be honest with you.
Moving on.
So his sword does nothing to this tiny fuck.
Jesus fucking Christ, he's 13.
See?
Wow.
Very pubescent. Anyways, Genya's bullets
Wow.
also do nothing.
Yeah.
Genya is about to be killed by the demons. He's like not having a good time, and he gets a flashback, and we find out that a demon attacked his fam, much like what happened to Tanjiro.
Yeah.
And then his bro killed his mom because actually it was his mom that was the demon that killed his family. And he has this whole story about like loving his brother and feeling bad about how it all went down and whatnot.
That was a really sad story.
Yeah.
It was really hard to watch.
It was hard to watch, but like I'm so turned off by all the backstories. They don't do anything for me for some reason. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I love a little backstory. Like
It's the way they display them in these moments right before people get killed where I'm like, fuck, again? And then, okay, fine. Yeah, they're like...
So you were saying narratively it would be better if they like gave you a bit of the backstory at the beginning where like you meet the character.
I don't know. Sure. This way is getting annoying. It's always this way. Always.
Yeah,
It's bothering me.
Yeah,
We
it's
talked
a little
about that.
formulaic.
Anyways, Tanjiro saves him, but then Genya saves Tanjiro,
Yeah.
and Genya like turns into Swiss cheese. He takes an attack that leaves fucking holes all through his body.
Yeah.
But again, because he has the like demonish power, he has regeneration power. Okay, so there's a new emotion now. There's the hatred pops out of nowhere. And he's like covered in, he's got drums all around him.
Yes.
And he's got this wooden Hydra dragon situation, which actually is pretty random and out of nowhere, but also so dope looking.
Yeah,
This
but
was
hatred,
peak
Yeah.
character design.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll agree.
Hatred also like consumes all the other emotions, right? And
Yeah.
like it's just him.
Yeah. Am I wrong that he had like big Vegeta energy in the way that he was
Oh.
designed to, the way he looked?
Yeah,
A little
huge,
smaller.
little smaller.
The hair,
little-
same exact, I think, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Similar.
Yeah, I mean similar, but like it's definitely the small dude with like big dick energy.
Yeah.
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 Or like wishes he had big dick energy.
And it was just, and yeah, I don't know. It was just like sick that like he didn't
Yeah.
really do much except like hit his drums, and
Yeah.
he just
Yep.
like hit them in a certain way,
Yeah.
and like that was his like.
Well, and each
There's
drum,
something ominous about that.
each
you
drum
know?
Yeah.
did the effect that one of the other emotions was able to do. So like that
Yeah.
one emotion, I don't even remember which one's which, but
Yeah.
one of them had a leaf. Also,
Yeah.
by the way, very fucking random.
That's
the-
actually not. It's only random to you because you haven't watched enough anime or haven't played enough video games.
A leaf is important because I haven't watched anime or video games.
Okay. Yes, and people who are watching or listening to this know exactly why. Because in a lot of video games and anime,
Yeah.
you're able to create wind power with a big ass leaf. Like even Zelda Tears of
Yeah.
the Kingdom right now. Like
I get that all these
Like-
elements have some sort of like precedence for them doing what they do, but
Yeah.
for a demon who doesn't have any association to leaves to just show up with a big leaf and it be his power is very random to me.
it's not the leaf be his power. It's the wind that's his power that he can create with the leaf.
Yeah, very random to me. Anyways, point being, Tanjiro, the fight animation, by the way, with this
Yeah.
wooden Hydra is insanity. It's crazy. And Tanjiro immediately gets swallowed by one of them, which is terrifying because it's crushing him and it's solid wood. And then just in time, right before he's about to get crushed to death, Kenroji comes in and slices him out. And now we have Kenroji versus the wood Hydra and the drum demon because Tanjiro and Nezuko and Genya are now after this tiny bitch again.
Yes. Also, I want to say, like, I think the drum demon was a nice homage to the very first demon they had to fight.
That I also hated.
That you also hated.
I hated that fucking thing. Anyways. But yeah, maybe it was. It's weird. They didn't explicitly say that. But
No, but you kind of have that feeling.
They both
like,
had
by
drums. They both had
right?
drums.
There's drums, and then they have powers
Yeah.
because of their drums.
I'm going to give Kenroji 2 awards here.
Yeah.
First one is award for the best fight sequence I've maybe ever seen in an anime.
Whoa. Ever?
Maybe, man. I don't know, to be honest. I'd have to go back and think. JJK 0 was amazing as well, too.
Yeah, JJK Zero had some awesome fighting.
I agree, but this was amazing. Definitely this show. It's the best I've seen in this show by far.
Even in JJK the first season.
Yeah.
That end scene of the first season of JJK when they're fighting that like wood thing.
Yeah,
and
the
they're
wood-
doing the clap switches.
Yeah, with
Oh,
Best
yeah,
of
yeah,
Friendo.
yeah. You're right.
You
That
know?
was crazy.
That was fucked.
But
the
still,
Black Flash.
like,
Amazing.
To be talking about it on this level is obviously the highest honor that we
Yeah.
can give.
Yeah.
So.
The other award I'm going to give her is for the worst named moves of all time. For example, Cat Love Shower
Yeah.
and Cat-Legged Wings of Love.
Yeah, I'll give you that much.
Yep.
I'll give you that
So
much.
there's that. Also, there's many close-ups on her boobs, more so even than Nezuko, I think, gets in a season. And
Well,
she was
I
only in
mean-
this season for like half of it.
She's the fan service character.
Yeah.
And she's also older, so it's
Yeah.
It's more okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so she's fighting. She also takes a massive hit, and we get a flashback from her, which, again, I didn't want it. So to me, it was blah, 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 I'm strong and weird.
See, but I don't agree because, like, once we have the crying monk Hashira, I want to know his backstory. Like, why the fuck is he crying all the time?
It's going to be stupid, though, man. It's going to be something
and I will be satisfied with whatever they give me.
you can be.
You thought her backstory was stupid?
I just didn't need it or care, to be honest with you, and it didn't give
That's
me
the
anything
thing.
that I
You
didn't
didn't
already
care
know about
for
her.
it.
It didn't give me anything I didn't already know about her. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that because, like, think if her just being naturally crazy strong,
Yeah.
right? And that's not part of her Hashira training, right? It's just her as a
But
human.
it also didn't really explain why she was strong. She just was.
Yeah, but for me, like the big question that I wanted answered was like, why is the love Hashira not seemingly found love?
Yeah.
Right? Like ever since you meet her, you know what I mean? She's a love Hashira. Like why is she running around solo?
Yeah.
I don't
Right?
know.
Like why is she on her own?
They do introduce the fact that there may be a romance with her and the snake dude.
Yeah.
But like you have to understand like how she got to the point she is now
Yeah.
is because of past, jaded love and things like that. And it's like I don't know. I thought it added depth to her character in a way that I would have wanted.
Yeah, especially a character
They
that's
didn't take
designed.
too long on it.
Yeah.
Like
Designed
half
to
an
be a
episode, maybe?
fan service character.
Probably about half an
Yeah.
episode, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If they didn't give you that, then she would just be the fan service character.
Yeah, and you'd probably
Yeah.
have something shitty to say about that too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Fucking dick.
I don't know, man. Hey, living my truth. Okay. Okay, so Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Genya are off after this little bitch. And in this scene, I really missed Inosuke and Zenitsu because we had a new team of three and they just weren't as engaging to me as our team of three. Like
Totally.
when this team of three finds success in the battle, it's not as good as when our team of three finds success in battle.
Well, that's only because it's a like a ragtag team.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, technically the other three were a ragtag team, but like it's one that just kind of cleanses your palate for the next season where, they do come back.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Like I'm assuming I haven't read the manga, so
They have to.
yeah.
I need them. If not, I'm done. One thing that nods to our team is that Tanjiro, his leg stopped working, and then he remembers a conversation he had with Zenitsu, and suddenly he learns total concentration.
I knew you were gonna hate
Yeah.
I actually loved this.
What? What?
I loved it, dude.
What?
Why would I hate that?
because his ass pull.
A little bit, yeah, but it looked cool as fuck, man.
Okay.
It was one of the coolest things
Well,
Tanjiro did this whole
see,
season.
why can't
Why?
see that?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. you just said like
You just mind fucked me right now. Like hard.
you just said like the exact thing that like every weeb has to tell themselves before they watch anime or like get into an anime
What's
is
that?
like that was an ass pull,
Yeah,
but it looks so fucking cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I just like it's just so funny like the way that you selectively choose to apply that.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's what, it is fucking true.
I think part of it was because it brought me back to our team.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as much of it as it's an ass pull, it's also like a pretty real thing that could happen between them. They'd be sitting around in the healing house all the time talking about shit, talking about their skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But what's mind fuckery about this is the fucking selectiveness you have.
Yeah.
And it's like on other episodes we've done in other anime, there's selective
Sure.
things that you fucking pull
Yeah.
on that we don't even fucking
Go on. Go on.
I fuck
You're gonna
this.
get nowhere with that.
Yeah, fuck this.
I like what I like, dude, and I don't like what I
this
don't
shit.
like. And there's doesn't have to be rhyme or reason.
Anyways, what you're not wrong about is that scene was fucking cool.
That
Really
scene was
fucking
fucking
cool.
cool.
He uses total concentration and grabs this fucking shitty gargoyle, and the gargoyle turns big and scary
Yes.
all of a sudden, and Tanjiro, Gargoyle, and Nezuko all fall off a cliff. Tanjiro's trying to like go at it, but its sword never cut through its neck. It's like it lodged in its neck.
Yeah.
And now it's all weakened and can't regenerate quickly. And it's like, I need to fucking eat humans. And luckily, there's 3 little humans just chilling right there. We haven't seen humans in a while. And there's 3 right there.
Yep, not convenient at all.
I'm not, I mean, very obvious. It could happen in real life that way.
It could so happen.
For sure.
Totally.
They were running away.
So
that could be a
he's-
field that they run to.
He's chasing after them. He's chasing after them. And
He does eventually cut the fucking head off.
yeah, we're getting there. Okay, so he's chasing, the demon's chasing after these people, and Tanjiro's like, no, what the fuck am I going to do? And then he's like, my sword's stuck in its neck, and I don't have anything to fight him with, and out of nowhere, a new sword comes flying down out of nowhere, and it's Misty Boy,
Yes.
who stole the sword from the guy who was working on it, who's not done yet, by the way, and not happy about it.
No, he's not.
He's super rattled and threw it down there. And he's like, use it to cut the demon's head off. And the swordsmith's like, don't fucking use it to cut the demon's head off. It's not done yet.
And that's the motherfucker who breaks my swords every time he touches them.
Exactly, yeah. Don't fucking touch that sword.
Yeah.
And Tanjiro, he grabs
Fuck
it.
everyone else.
And once again uses total concentration, which again, I'm like, this is fucking dope. And he gets that motherfucker's head, but obviously it was never the head all along. The little dude is inside the big dude.
Yeah.
So getting the big dude's head didn't matter because he's got to get inside and get the little dude's head.
Yeah.
Which
it was like
again-
resentment. It was a nice little.
Yeah,
like-
you're right. It was the big one was a different emotion.
Yeah.
And then he.
Sleight of hand. Then he turns around.
Then he.
Oh, he smells it. You're right. And you want to take this one? You want to take it away here?
No, I was just saying he just sniffs. He
Sniffs
just
him
sniffs him
out.
out.
Yeah.
And locates him in his heart.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
And gets him.
Yeah. But
Slimes.
it's, the one thing though is like I didn't see this. Like they didn't see, or I didn't see, a scene where the dude regenerates his arms.
He doesn't regenerate his arms.
The big dude.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he does.
Does he?
His arms are back and his head's off, and he's chasing after the humans.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Right, but I don't see that. So it feels like this weird continuity error. But regardless, it's minor.
I didn't even notice that one.
you should email them.
Yeah.
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 I noticed.
Hey,
Yeah.
by the way.
Continuity error. I don't care too much about your plot armor or holes.
Yeah.
But at least keep your fucking arms off.
Yeah. So we missed actually something because before he gets the little dude inside the big dude, this is when he realizes that Nezuko
Yes.
is burning up in the sun.
And he's conflicted.
So big dude is headless, like a zombie chicken chasing after these 3 humans.
Yes.
And Nezuko's burning up in the sun.
Yeah.
And he's completely conflicted. Do you want to go on this one, Jay, or are you going to
Well,
make
no.
it through?
So like, what was tricky about it, and like, I was almost a little confused at first because, they sort of touch on it, but like the demon they're chasing doesn't burn up in the sun the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun starts coming out, everybody panics.
Oh, yeah.
Tanjiro has to run back after he thought he'd killed this demon
Yeah.
and cut off the head successfully. And now he has to try and run back as the sun's coming out back to Nezuko. Nezuko is you think she's panicking and running towards him and freaking out
Right, but
because she
she's-
wants to be near him because that's just Nezuko and that's just how she always is acting.
Yeah.
Until they actually make contact with each other and you realize she's reaching beyond him.
Yeah, there's
and she's
something going
pointing
on.
past him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something behind him. And of course Tanjiro turns around and sees this headless body continuing to run after these guys and also not burning up in the sun.
Yeah.
Which is also very confusing.
Yeah.
And that's when they realize, oh, like I did kill that big one when I beheaded it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the main body. The
Yeah,
main
exactly.
body is protected
from the sun.
inside the body of the big body
That's it. Yeah,
and
you're
is
right.
continuing to chase after these people. I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that exact moment, of course, Nezuko catches on fire, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
he even has a moment where he looks the one way towards the demon and literally turns back and goes back to Nezuko and covers her.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so she's burning. He's trying to encourage her to turn her body small.
Yeah.
He's having one of the most realistic panic attacks I've ever seen put to fiction.
Yeah.
And basically, like, yeah, and I can't. I can't. Do
I'll
it.
do it. Okay, so
I can't talk about it.
he's covering her and she's burning,
Yeah.
and she literally, you don't even see it quite happen. You just see him like in the air, and then it
Yeah.
pans out, and she's got her foot up. She kicked him off of her.
Yeah.
Launches him in the air. By the way, I know why you were fucking tearing up, because they cut all the sound out,
Yes.
all the music and sound effects out, except for his thought process.
But also, like, she had just made herself small,
Yeah.
so she's like baby version,
Baby version.
which just hurts even more, man.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she was listening to him.
and she was doing exactly what
she's
she
struggling
was
with
told.
what the choices are too,
Because it's
while he is also,
yeah,
right?
It's the self-sacrifice of
Yeah.
Nezuko, and then there's also the, the potential loss of motives for Tanjiro.
Yeah.
Right, and pretty much his whole reason for being.
Yep.
Well, that's
Right?
if you
Like-
believe she's actually going to die. Which,
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say. Is that's kind of took away from this whole scene for me, because I'm like, there's a loophole here, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So as much as it was intense, you know what I mean. For me, it was also it was shrouded by the fact that I was like, this is not how this ends.
No.
Yeah. It's clear to me.
yeah.
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 But you just don't know how it's gonna end.
Right.
Granted, I got it spoiled, so
Yeah. Well,
If
we'll get to it now.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's the thing. Like, a lot of my emotion, I don't know if it was because I actually thought we were going to lose her necessarily.
it's just the way it went
but it
down.
was just the struggle.
Yeah, the orchestration of
Yeah.
the
The-
whole
yeah.
moment
Yeah.
together was like just emotionally overwhelming. And of course, you get your big cut back with her,
Yeah.
where they go through literally the entire journey.
Yeah.
You get to see like Mikey said earlier,
Yeah.
the weird old animation style that they changed from.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just really touching. And
Yeah.
and yeah, love Nezuko.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're too empathetic, man.
Yeah, no.
that's why I love Jay though. So
Yeah, I know.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
just
fault him
kidding.
for it. Though. You
I
can
won't-
actually take a little bit of from Jay. That would make it.
He's one of my friends too.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you were a little bit more like that, if things might go better here sometimes.
We'd watch some happier anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait until next
Stay
week,
tuned
guys.
for next week. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
Okay, so let's move on, because we're almost done here and we're fucking deep in this episode. Okay, so Tanjiro then, after he gets kicked off, realizes, well, like, I have to honor what's happened here.
Yes.
And she's burning up, so he runs after. He gets the little gargoyle, and the little gargoyle gets a little life flash of
Yeah.
its backstory, which I could care fucking less about. I literally have no notes about it.
It was a really weird, lame story, but like it ultimately painted him as like a piece of shit by the end.
Yeah.
Which I already
So-
knew.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't need a flashback for him to know that he was a piece of shit.
He basically
Yeah.
murdered a bunch of people, got away with it, got some people killed for it,
Yeah.
and then was told like, one day you're gonna fucking pay for all of this.
Yeah,
And here it is.
Here it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just solidifying him more as a villain.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
it was like you kind of grasped that situation with this particular
Didn't
one.
need our 6th flashback in the episode
Yeah.
for that.
What
Yeah.
I will say is that it was a little refreshing to get a flashback where they weren't trying to endear you to the character.
Yes.
Sure.
They were
Yeah.
trying to say, no,
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Yeah, not all of these demons that suck now were good ones.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make Jay cry a little bit more, because Tanjiro gets the demon.
Yeah.
And then
That was a cool scene.
and then
Seeing a
loses
weird,
his
tiny little
fucking
demon.
mind. So he
Yeah.
has that moment where he can like muster it up and do what needs to get done, but as soon as that's done, he's done.
Yeah.
Well, the weight hits him
Tears,
and
right?
Nezuko's
Yeah.
gone.
Exactly. But then he turns around and Nezuko's just there, standing there. And she's much more human than before.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a moment, a very dramatic scene in which the fucking thing she bites falls to the ground.
Yes.
And she goes, "Morning."
yeah, very cute, very quiet.
Morning.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, while this scene is happening, we cut back to Kenroji fighting the fucking wood demons, and she literally is about to she gets swallowed and is like, "This is it for me," and then the demon just dissolves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very convenient timing once again.
Yeah, man.
Because what, like 5 minutes earlier, and she's dead?
No, because you can't kill off your, fan service character.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't. It's a shonen.
Okay, so then we cut to Muzan, who, as we remember now, is a
Yes.
child living in a family home.
Yeah.
And he just murders his mom and the servant girl there.
Brutally.
So literally an
Brutal.
exploded head.
Just rips their fucking heads off.
His mom first, to the point where the servant is like, "Miss,
yeah.
what happened to your head?"
Yeah.
As if there's someone there to hear what she's saying. And then he realizes, he explains like, "Oh, a chosen demon has appeared. Someone who can withstand the sun has appeared, which is the only thing I've been trying to do. All my experiments have only been for the reason to to find out how I can withstand dying in the sun.
And we get some good backstory on him finally.
Yes.
Finally.
Yeah.
But I was so
And we also kind of get to see his like true form
Yeah.
as well. Like
Yeah.
not him in disguise, but
He
like
morphs into it. He's
like,
very humanoid.
who like well that's the thing, but like like who is Muzan really?
Yeah.
Not disguised.
Yeah.
We get to see that, which was really
Yeah.
cool.
I was a little disappointed with his backstory, though.
It was just kind of about this fucking flower, the blue spider lily, right?
Yeah, it was just he was sick.
Yeah.
Fucking doctor that he was using experimental medicine and probably a little psycho and experimenting on him with it, and then he becomes a demon.
That's it.
And then I'm like,
And he gets
that's-
so committed to figuring
Yeah.
out how demons can exist in the sun,
Yeah.
him specifically.
I don't know, there's a little more nuance to it than that.
Yeah, I mean, I wish there was just like I think what I was looking for was something more dramatic,
Yeah.
considering he's the big bad.
I think
know what
I
I
think
mean?
the most dramatic thing about him is what he's obviously done since that backstory happened.
Yeah.
AKA create this nation of demons.
Yeah.
Like the demon race exists solely because of Muzan.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's you don't see that in his backstory, but you
Yeah,
you
it's-
see
it's
it.
all
The proof
implied.
is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Now.
It kind of also, and maybe this
see
is
his
something
legacy now.
I didn't realize previously, but I realize now is that every time you've seen him in the past, he's been in some form of lab with beakers and whatever.
Yeah.
And now you realize why. I'm like, was he just a scientist guy? I don't understand. Now
Yeah.
I realize,
Yeah.
oh, he's been constantly experimenting with demon blood,
He's
demon
always standing in
abilities,
front
whatever.
of books and a
Exactly.
bookshelf and like he's
Exactly.
researching.
So it's his entire goal. And now he says, he's like, well, I don't need to multiply anymore.
Yeah.
Now all I need to do is absorb Nezuko. And
Yes.
that's it. That's his singular goal now. No more blue spider lily, no
Yeah.
more beakers and books and experimenting. It's just her, which is actually some scary ass shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's big bad's coming
Because
to
he's got what,
get
him
them.
and 3 more, and the 4 of them are the most powerful demons, and they're like on a warpath for
Yeah.
one thing.
And
specifically, that's
they're
it.
exponentially stronger than anything they've seen thus far.
Yeah.
And there's 4 of them that
Yeah.
are all exponentially stronger.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
And there's
like
no more
shit's
upper
about to
ranks
go
for them to go up
down.
against to get more powerful or stronger before they go up against.
Yeah.
them.
no, which is I guess why the next arc they're just going straight into Hashira training because they're like,
Yeah.
well, now or never.
You got to level up somehow at this
Yeah.
point. You got to
Yeah.
level up somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we also, then we're pretty much at the end here. So we find out, once again, we're reminded that Tanjiro is collecting demon blood for that lady. And she basically just says in a letter, hey, thanks for Nezuko's blood. They don't give you that. It's just like an afterthought. All of this feels like an afterthought. And she's like, I really think this is going to be helpful. I'm going to get some good information out of this. It's not like anything I've ever seen before. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I think
Is
what
that
it
all
is
you got out of that last update from her?
What else
No,
was there?
They
that-
said they fully reversed somebody's demon transition. The man that they saw in the town, the super congregated town, when Tanjiro first sees Muzan and Muzan scratches that guy's neck to get away from him.
Yeah.
They successfully reversed that guy turning into a demon and turned him back into a human.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, but
missed that.
he can only survive. He can survive with a little bit of blood, and that's it.
But like his
Oh,
humanity,
I
he
do
regained
remember
his
here- I do
he
remember
regained
that.
his
His
humanity.
Yeah.
that was the big part.
And then she also mentions how she's confused as to why at this point Nezuko hasn't fully regained her humanity yet.
Yeah.
And that
I do remember that now.
there's been a reason
Reasons.
for that.
Yeah.
And the main reason is that there's a purpose that is more important to her
Yeah.
than accessing that old part of her brain right now. And
Yeah.
she's so singularly focused on
Yeah.
achieving that goal that she hasn't dipped back into her old personality. Doesn't mean it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like this is how dedicated Nezuko is to Tanjiro
Yeah.
and the task at hand.
yeah,
And it's got to, in my opinion, it's got to have something to do with the fact that her demon power comes from Muzan's blood.
see,
And so
it
she
is.
knows
It
how
is.
strong he is, and she
Yeah.
knows that I might be the only one because I have the blood and I'm not on his side
Yeah.
who can go up against him, which
Yeah.
is how the show ends. That's where it's going.
Yeah, but yeah, because she's Muzan's demon, where usually a lot of the other demons are like other demons, right?
Yeah.
Like offsprings. But I think the reason why her blood is special is because she's the only demon that hasn't consumed another person.
Yeah, maybe.
they mentioned that's
Yeah.
huge for her.
That's probably why she's allowed to still be like a good guy, quote unquote.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
that's also probably the reason why she's also able to access
Yeah.
that part of her
Yeah.
her soul or humanity, and probably why.
I wonder if Tanjiro's mom fucked that like upper one demon before he was a demon, and Nezuko's his kid.
That was like a linchpin of why she was even allowed to continue living at all. Like in season 1, that was why the guy that they first went to basically kept her captive and locked up for an X amount of time because she needed to hit a certain threshold without demon blood and still be alive.
Oh, yeah.
In order for them to even bother.
Yeah, I remember
So they
that.
knew then that like this was imperative for her moving forward, was that she wouldn't be.
How the fuck do they know all this?
They couldn't allow her to have any blood.
I like all this as a premise, but like, how the fuck do these people all know this?
Folklore. A lot of the time, they're drawing off folklore.
I guess so. Yeah, true.
They're like legend has it, or our one myth tells us.
And guess what? They're right.
they're right.
Well, I mean, listen, for a country that is still so connected to their traditions and their history, like it makes sense they would continue to write about it. Like they are very connected to that.
Yeah.
It does feel more real to them.
Yeah, it's like ancient Greek, right? Like mythology. Like if you go into that time frame where people are believing in gods and demons,
Yeah.
right? Like that's where they're going to be drawing from. They're not going to have modern science.
Yeah.
This just happens to be like the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Or something?
Yeah, sure.
1800s maybe.
In a different world where demons exist too, so whatever. So basically we're at the end here, and I guess in the end we kind of have a happy ending in this arc. You know what I mean? Nezuko is turning more human, as I just learned.
Yes.
They're learning more about how to reverse the demon process, and nobody we like died.
Yeah.
Yeah, bingo bango.
Yeah, bingo
right?
bango. And then he even got a little parade at the end there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was nice.
That was kind of nice. He finally got some recognition.
Yeah.
It's nice to get some
It
recognition.
was good for
Yep.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did it, guys. That was a long one. I'm sorry.
I wish Jay and I got more recognition.
Well, we're not the stars of the show.
I was going to
Yes,
say,
sir.
like, one of us is clearly the star of the show.
All right, Jordy, what do you give this, buddy?
I know I bashed it a lot, but again, there's some elements that are like unfaultable and like so impressive that no matter how much you bash the things you don't like, it still is just a very impressive show. So I'm landing on a 7 out of 10.
Whoa, that's better than I thought.
Yeah,
Was
that's
it?
pretty good
I
from
was going
you.
to guess 6. I was
Okay.
going to guess 6 for you.
I mean, a lot of the things that I really like out of a show, the parts of the show that are undeniable are the parts that don't usually do it for me, but they're so good that like it makes it a fun watch still. Even if I hate it, I'm still like enjoying the view. It's eye candy
Yeah.
to the extreme
Which
degree.
most shonens are.
We've watched some that aren't that impressive.
You and I can talk again later. Okay. What about you, Jay?
This season, I'd probably give a 8.5.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with Jordy where like there was some episodes and some stretches where I just felt like it was just fight. And then there was obviously just a huge payoff at the end. But like I said, what I picked up along the way, the developments of the characters I got along the way, and then all of that payoff at the end was so fucking juicy that I'm as high on this show as ever, and I'm as pumped as ever for the next one. I actually might just pick up the manga because I'm just tired of waiting. And
You do that
Yeah,
sometimes.
you do that.
it's about time. I
Yeah,
think.
it tracks for you.
Yeah. I give this an 8.
Okay.
Yeah. The only reason why I give it an 8 is because it got spoiled.
You really hated it, eh?
No, it's only 'cause if I got that punch that Jay got, this probably would have got like an 8.59. But it got, just because it got spoiled for me,
Dude, I was like
Yeah.
lip quivering, like fucking. Whew.
right? Because normally I'm so on top of my anime, and I'm always like, watching it as it airs, and I don't have to worry about spoilers. But because Zelda's out right now and Tears of the Kingdom, I'm not on top of it.
I actually think I watched this finale before you did because we share a Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
And it shows your progress.
Yeah, you definitely did, right? So that was my thing. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's still fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Awesome.
All right, Jordy, where can people find you?
At Reaching In on Instagram.
What about
Say
you?
hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Yeah. What else did they keep saying? There was a phrase they all kept repeating at the end there.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Oh, yeah. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, what the actual words are.
Yeah.
All right, what about you, Jay?
You can find me at hanger.91 on Instagram.
There you go. You guys can find me at Shmanime Pod on TikTok. Come join the Discord. And if you can, donate to Never Not Kittens.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's kitten rescue.
Do it.
Do the cat love shower. Or the cat-legged.
What are you fucking
Honestly,
talking
man,
about?
you
Fucking
might
her moves,
you might
man.
even have totally different named moves because you watched it in English. I'm guessing. So
With the subtitles on.
Okay, bye.